Hello, and welcome to the Bear Experiment podcast. Today's special guest is my friend Jackie. Today's topic is going to be so much fun. It's going to be Tinder profiles and dating. Basically, right?
Tinder, Bumble, Facebook dating, plenty of fish.
All of the above. All of the above. But she does post this on her own social media, and I crack up at the things that she posts because I'm just like, do men really post? Do men really post these pictures and these profile settings to gain dates? Is this what's happening in Miami right now?
Yes. This is something that I do for fun. I think it's my traumatic response to my current situation. It's making fun of the dating scene in Miami. It is private. It's only for my friends and mine's pleasure, I guess I would say. But it's how I deal with the current reality of dating in Miami.
It's pretty rough out there. I'm also single, so I can definitely vouch for that. I haven't been in the dating scene on Tinder as long as you have, but I've tried it for a little bit, and I have to tell you that my experience has not been a positive one. For the majority of the people that I've kind of found any type of connection with, what I have found is what they write is not exactly
Correct.
It's not exactly
Correct.
what happens when you actually call them and talk on the phone.
Correct.
It's not all truth, right? Everybody's kind of living this illusion.
Yes, and that's not new. So if we go back, we can think of the party lines. I remember you would call in and just talk.
You're
in a
talking about
group.
back in the 90s, girl.
We're talking about back in the day. It's the same thing. You would either hide behind a phone. Then we had AOL chat rooms, Yahoo chat rooms. So you would hide behind the computer. And now it's the same thing. You're hiding behind an app. So you don't always get the person that they're trying to portray in their profile when you go ahead and you meet, in person for real time.
And not only that, but one of the biggest things that I have noticed with these dating apps, and this is what frustrates me, I'm a little old school with my thinking on this. I get it. I understand that this is a new way to date.
Yes.
I get it. I'm open to it. I've tried it. But I just feel that for the most part, the men that are out there, as the women as well, you see a guy that you like, or they see a girl that they like. Oh my God, let's talk a little bit. You start by the texting, right? The back and forth. And then they text you, okay, I'll give them my number.
Yes.
Let's text. Hey, can I call you? Sure. You talk to them and you might hit it off.
Yes.
Oh my God, this person's interesting.
And you
This
might not.
Right.
And you might
But
not.
let's say you hit it off. Let's talk positive right now. You actually meet, you're part of that 2% that actually meet their husband and their life partner.
Yes.
On Tinder and on whatever app it is that you're using. But what I think happens for the most part with the majority of people on these apps that are looking is I could like you when I start talking to you, but then I'm like, what? Let me see if I like somebody better.
Yes.
Let me go to the next one.
I-
and you start talking to her.
Yes.
And you start talking to this one. And you start talking to
Yes.
that one. And you're 10 and deep and you realize, wow, Jackie's definitely like the person that I've clicked with the most. She has her shit most together. Let me
Yeah.
stick to this one.
Or she's
and at
not.
that,
Or she's not. Because then Tracy comes along and for some reason Tracy did something that Jackie didn't and now Tracy's in the running and then Jackie gets ghosted.
but then they come back to you, and at that point you're just turned off.
You're over
because
it.
You're just like,
You're over it.
why have
You're
you
over
taken
it.
so long to talk to me?
Yes, you're
Right?
over it.
And I think that's what happens.
Yeah.
Everybody's just looking for the better option, and it's too easily accessible right now with these dating apps.
Correct. I think that's the biggest challenge. I too am very old school in my values and the way that I wish that I can date. It's not like I'm at home all the time. Like I put myself out there. I've gone to bars. I've gone to social events. I've waited for the man to make that first move because I'm still a little bit old school in that sense that I want him to make that move.
Absolutely. You want the guy to chase you.
Correct.
You want the man to chase you.
And it hasn't happened. I remember one night I was out with my friends at a bar. It was like the Heat playoffs, and we were having a great time. And there was a guy across the bar that was eyeing me, and I was eyeing him. And he would look back, and I would smile, and I was like, "This is it. This is gonna happen." He wasn't making the move. I was like, "I'm gonna go to the bathroom, see if he follows me there." He didn't. His friend left. He sat outside, literally staring at me, like sat down, staring right where I was sitting. The night ended. I went outside. I said something to make it clear that I was single, and he didn't make his move. I got in my car and I left. He got in his car and he left, and I never heard from him again. So unfortunately, dating apps is the new thing. It's kind of like the only way.
It's easier. It's
That-
easier.
that you
and not only
know-
that, but we live such complicated lives,
Yeah.
right? We have a job, we have children,
Yeah.
we just, life demands, I feel, a lot more of women and men.
Yeah, and now we live in this remote world, right? So I work from home, so I don't have a chance of meeting my fling at work because
Right.
I'm at home all day. My mailman is hot. I wish that he would like knock on the door one day and say, "Hey, are you available?" But he hasn't. So it's hard, once you work from home, it's hard to kind of meet somebody in that social setting unless you go out there and put yourself out there. But even then, I feel that people aren't as courageous as they were back in the day anymore. So you have to resort to dating apps and kind of find these people who are hiding behind an app and hope for the best when you meet in person that it's that person that you think you kind of fell for.
Have you met anybody that's interesting? One person, just one person that you say, okay, there's a possibility here of a future.
I have, and then it turns out that it's not the one. I've made friends. Like I can say that
I
there's a
made friends with
couple of.
one. I made friends with,
Yeah.
with a really nice firefighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have met men that I'm like, you know what? There's not a romantic relationship here, or their chemistry is not here, because that's what I'm looking for. You also have to realize, what are you looking for? If you're looking for a fling or just one night out or friends with benefits, that's out there. That's easy to find.
I've met so many girlfriends. Not so many. I'm exaggerating, but I've met a handful of girlfriends that have met their life partner
Me too.
on the apps,
Yeah.
and they're either living happily together, and they're traveling and they're living together, and they're talking marriage, or they've gotten married.
Yeah, me
so
too.
it does happen.
That's why I always say that I keep my expectations low but my hope high, and that's based on my experience. So it's going to be 5 years that I've been single. So in 5 years,
5 years on a dating app.
on and off. I have my moments. There's times where I get frustrated and I'm like, you know what? I have something else to focus on, so I'm going to get off.
Right.
Give the pool some time to upgrade or update or whatever. Maybe some men are in relationships that they shouldn't
They
be
found
in.
somebody. Let's get a new pool of men coming in.
Exactly.
With higher standards.
Exactly. So I give it a break. Then we have the pandemic, right? So I became single in 2018.
I think a lot of people really learned how to date through these apps during the pandemic.
Correct.
I think that's when the
Correct.
pandemic, during the pandemic, when the apps really exploded.
But then it was different. It was a different challenge. It's like, is this guy really worth me catching COVID? Am I going to leave my house and possibly catch COVID because of this guy? So for a good year and a half until we realized we were going to survive, right? There was a lot of people that wouldn't even go out. So then you just became...
That Fauci was lying.
Maybe or maybe not. So you just became text buddies, and it's like, okay, how far can I take this? So through the COVID, it's one of my good friends that I actually made. We were kind of not ready to go out and meet. He actually moved out of Miami because of situations that came about with COVID, and we just stayed friends because there really wasn't any other option.
Right.
So in the 5 years that I've been single, a year and a half of that I will say that it's because of COVID.
Okay.
So
All right.
it's been interesting.
So you're still active on all the on all the apps, or
I take turns. I mean, Tinder's new to me because I've always thought that Tinder was the hookup, app. And then I learned that it's not. So you can set your settings to say, I'm looking for a long-term relationship. There's one.
I have a cousin that she met her man on Tinder, and I'm telling you, they are as happy as can be.
Yeah,
They're
but
like
for a
pig in
long
shit.
for a long time, that was the
the
hookup.
hookup app,
the
right?
hookup
Like,
app.
you want to have sex?
That's
Tinder.
where you go.
Yeah.
But it's changed, it's evolved. So this year was the first year that I tested it, and I met somebody, but my challenge has been men that are emotionally unavailable. So they think they're ready, they put themselves out there, and then when you finally meet and you're like, okay, let's do this.
That's an interesting point that you're bringing up about men. What is your take on why the majority of men that are getting on these apps and they're not even emotionally available to get into a relationship yet they're getting on these apps looking for a relationship? What's your take on that?
I think as humans, we want validation, right? So whatever trauma we had in our past relationship, we kind of want to prove to ourselves that we still got it. As women, I think we're a little bit more emotional. So even though we're out there trying to prove that we still got it, we'll find a match and say, you know what, this one might work out. And we'll turn this validation or this rebound into a relationship.
Right.
I think men are more cold-hearted almost. And I'm not saying all men, but there's some women that are cold-hearted
Just
too.
the way that they operate, right? They're more
Less emotional.
primal, right? With the way that they approach women, it's
Correct.
more of
But
physical
then-
attraction.
But then they know how we work. So then they might pretend for a little bit hey, I'm into this, I'm into you, I'm going to give you what you need. And then once they get it, they're gone. So I've found it hard to find a man that I'm interested, because I'm looking for that chemistry. I'm also looking for somebody that complements my life. I'm looking for somebody that matches my energy and matches what I bring to the table. And that's a challenge in itself. And then on top of that, you want that person to check all those boxes, but also have that chemistry and that attraction. And I think that's the first thing that you should look for in a partner, in a person.
We're getting a buddy.
It's fine. It's fine. He's like, wait, you're talking about my people here. But it's a challenge all around. And I'm not saying it's everybody. You know, there's some people that are emotionally available, that they're ready for a relationship. And maybe they come on too hard. And then you're like, whoa, I'm not in a rush. Like, I want to make sure that this is something that flows. This is something that works out. And maybe their intentions are, I don't know, are misleading just because of that rush to get into something. So it's definitely a challenge. We all have our things, our traumas that we went through in other relationships. And I like to come in with honesty. So I'll tell people, hey, I've been single for some time. I'm okay with being alone. I'm looking for someone to complement my life. But I hope, you know, you have it together, or you bring something similar to the table. And it's a challenge.
So, your experience with the men that you're meeting, emotionally unavailable. We've experienced that already, right? You've talked about that. When you give them a chance that you actually go out on, you're going on a date.
Of course, yeah.
Right? What has been your experience as you're on a date with this person? What they're talking about? Where in your position, where you're very confident and you know exactly what you're looking for. I'm looking for a life partner, possibly marriage. Again, no children. You're very clear about
Yes.
that right up front.
Yes.
You're very clear that you don't want
Yeah.
any more children. So when you're that upfront with the man that you're meeting on these apps, what's been your feedback? Do they freak out? Are they game to it? Are they just crazy and you're just...
Some act crazy. So some will be like, oh, I didn't know that you were looking for a relationship. I thought we were just having fun. And it's like, I mean, literally one of my profiles says not looking for a hookup. Like, I'm actually looking for something with some
But
substance.
I think that men write that too. I'm not looking for a hookup. And then when you meet them, it's all about a hookup.
But again, I think it's that emotional attachment. They don't have that emotional attachment that we have. So they'll go out, they'll have a good time, they'll go home, they'll go to sleep, and the next morning they forgot about you. They left that in the
Right, they have a
past.
different wiring.
Where we're like, man, that was a great night. There was so much
Right,
potential.
yeah.
Like, I felt that
Our
chemistry.
dopamine is through the roof. We're like, we found our boo. This is gonna last forever.
And they're on a total different page. They're
and
on a
they're
total...
talking to another chick already on Tinder.
And then when you bring it up
We're
and
already
say,
planning the wedding dress.
yes, we have a Pinterest sheet with wedding ideas.
We know who we're inviting. She's gonna be my maid of honor because I
Correct.
didn't do it right the first time.
Correct. And they don't even think twice about it. They're just like, all right, cool, that was a fun night, moving on to the next.
That's crazy.
You know, and I think that's where we differ, you know, between males and females, where we're way too emotional. We tie ourselves to these situations, and they don't, you know.
Have you tried Match and the ones that you actually have to pay for?
Yes.
Where it's a little more detailed with your likes and dislikes, and they kind of it's supposed to be right like an algorithm that they put together. And
I think eHarmony is the one
eHarmony
that is
and-
like
and
the
Match,
most
right?
expensive one. Yeah. So I did eHarmony years ago, and it was expensive. Like, I'm talking about over $100 for you to
month?
have. No, it was like a 3-month subscription or something. And I was like, all right, let's try this. Since I'm looking for something with a little bit more substance, maybe this is it. And I ended up finding the same guys that are on Tinder, the same guys that are on Bumble, that aren't really honest about what they want. And then if they're not paying it, you're not connecting. So you can send as many messages as you want, but you're not getting it back. And then you realize that these are the same people on the same other apps that aren't really there for a serious commitment. So
well, what my cousin would always tell me, because she's the one that got me to start trying the apps. And again, it wasn't for me. I tried it, been there, done that. It wasn't for me. I didn't like it at all. I met.
But then what do you do?
You wing it. You wing it. But she said, she's like, any guy that's on these apps, they're not on here just looking for a friend. Because I was like, you know what? That was my. Oh, you know what? This is a nice way to meet a friend.
Yeah.
Because I don't go out. I just want to meet a friend.
Yeah.
I just want to meet a buddy. I want that best friend. And if it develops into that romantic relationship, my God, I
Yeah.
just hit the lottery.
Yeah.
But
So
she's
I want to approach it that way, right? Because then you think it's like, Is chemistry instant? Does love at first sight really exist? Is it something you build on?
I think it does, but I think for the most part, it does. You do build on it, obviously, right? Because it's about that you have that instant, right? Instant physical connection is
Correct.
the first thing, right? Oh my God, he's hot. Oh my God, she's gorgeous. That's the first thing that both parties look at.
Correct.
Then for us, it's like, oh, he talks a good game, right?
He
'Cause it's
smells
all-
great. That's my thing. You have to smell good.
Hands. I love hands. I love. A
I love
man's
arms.
hands.
I love
Right.
arms. Yeah.
Men are looking at your boobs and your ass. You know, that's
Yeah.
what. Maybe your eyes. If you're lucky, they're looking at your eyes.
But when you want something with some substance, you're looking for something a little bit more. Can I have an intellectual conversation with this person?
Right.
Can we talk about our differences? I mean,
Right.
we know that the state we live in right now, it's very, a lot of people are sensitive. There's a lot of topics that are sensitive. Can I have a conversation with this person, even if we don't see eye to eye?
Right.
Can we have that conversation
And
and
you
understand
respect, right? Can you respect my views?
my differences?
Right.
So on top of having that chemistry, on top of being attractive, then now you got to think of, are we on the same page?
Right.
Do we, feel the same way about some of these topics? And we don't have to, because as people, I think it would be very boring if we all had those same ideas. But can we respect our different point of views? And I think that's another issue that's happening today. I had one guy stop talking to me because he said that I was woke, and I was like, what does that even mean?
What does that mean?
I don't know. To him, it became political because he made a comment that I questioned. I didn't even say I didn't like it. I questioned, what do you mean by that? And he's like, oh, you're like one of these woke folks. And I was like, I don't understand what you mean. Let's have this conversation. Let's figure out what you meant by that.
Right.
But because he wasn't open to having that conversation,
Right.
I automatically said, no, this is a person who's not ready to talk about his feelings or ready talk about his thoughts. Like, let me know where you're coming from. The conversation ended there. So it's a tough dating scene right now. Not just because of people who might not be emotionally available, people who are not honest about what they're
There's so
looking
many
for.
options out there right now, and too easily accessible. I think that's the hunt is done.
Yeah.
And I think that for a man, once that hunt is done, it's just a game to them at this point.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, this
On
one,
to the
this one,
next.
right?
On to the next.
Like they don't have that primal instinct like they like men should have.
Correct.
Right? That drive that gives them that approach. Oh my God, she's beautiful, she's not taught. How do I approach her?
Yeah.
How do we go out on a date? How do I take her out to dinner?
And then it makes you feel, it's like, if meeting me and kind of getting to know me isn't enough, why do I have to prove to you that I'm worth it as
Right.
well?
Right.
Because the same way that they have many options, we have many options too. They're not
Correct.
great. It's not the best scenario.
You know what? They're not great because we also have this level of expectation that you also have to ask yourself, are we being realistic
Yes.
with what we're asking for?
Yes, and I've learned to not dumb it down, but kind of change those standards.
You
right?
have to. You have to, or you're never going to meet.
Correct.
Because at our age bracket,
Yeah.
we have luggage,
Mm-hmm.
we have hurt, right? We've been around the block.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, it's like, everything that we're complaining about them, they're looking at us the same way.
Yeah, I
'Cause
agree.
We're not 20 years old anymore.
I agree.
We're
But,
not coming in fresh.
But I learned, having failed in relationships, that communication is the best. So I automatically want to tell you, this is my situation. I am a grown woman. I'm 41 years old. I have no problem saying that. I have a grown child, so I have no interest in having children again. I would love to find a man with kids because I'm very family oriented and
Right.
I'm all down about going to the park and going to the theme parks and all of that. That's something I would love. Just because it's not my current lifestyle doesn't mean that I'm not open to it. But you also have to respect, just because I have an adult child doesn't mean that I stop being a mom. Like, I still have responsibility to this child. If this
Right.
child calls me in the middle of the night that they have a flat
That's
tire,
your priority.
I have to run and go.
100%.
So I need somebody that understands that. And some people would be like, well, he's grown. He can figure it out on his own. No, it's still my kid. It's still my... So, yes, we come
It's
with
your
all this
baby.
baggage, but
Yeah.
we also need to be considerate of each other. There's people who are caring for their parents at this age. A lot of us at this age have
Ailing
elderly parents.
Absolutely.
That's also a priority for us. You know what I mean? So there's so many things going on, and I
It's
think...
a difficult age. It really is, because at least my experience has been, your 20s, you're just crazy, right? You're just, nothing's going to happen. I'm going
It's
to live
fun.
forever.
It's
You're
fun.
having a great time, but you're not thinking about mortality
No.
in your 20s.
No.
At least I wasn't.
Yeah.
I can
Or
speak for
stability,
myself.
really. We were just having fun.
You're just having fun. If you're lucky that you have a job where you're making money,
Yes.
you're just, oh, let me buy a boat, let me buy a, right? Let me
Yeah.
buy the Jeep, let me figure everything out.
Yeah.
Then you hit your 30s, and I think that your 30s is definitely where you're trying to kind of figure out a little bit more where you're trying to get stable, right? That you're finding that person that you want to marry. If you didn't meet them in your 20s, you're looking for that stable relationship, because now you're thinking, right, as a female, you're thinking, okay, I need to have a kid.
Correct, if you haven't yet, yeah.
Because I want to be a mother, right? I want a family, so this is the stage for me to do it, because now this is where I'm fertile.
No.
In your 40s, I think that you really, for me, my 40s has been eye-awakening, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what have I done with my life?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that smack in the face for me.
Yeah.
Like,
And then
what have you done?
And then unfortunately, like me, and I'll give you a little bit of background. I had my son at 17. You know, I was very lucky to find a career young in life. A lot of people weren't, handed those cards. A lot of people didn't have those opportunities. I feel very fortunate that I was a high school dropout, but I have a great career. I had my son young, but I still gave him the example of a home, and I still showed him those, old school home values of a family. So I feel that I was very fortunate to have that.
Right.
And I understand that some people don't. But it's like, if I figured it out after being a mom at the age of 17, after being single with a small kid at a very young age, why haven't some people figured it out yet? So when you're at this age, you're expecting someone to have something to show for it.
Absolutely.
What have you done?
What have you done? What have you done with your life? Right.
Correct.
And usually, unless you are that small hand, right, that small percentile where life really didn't throw you a bag of shit.
Which happens.
Right.
It happens.
No, but you do meet those people that you're just saying to yourself, you are so lucky.
Yeah.
Or at least the image that they're portraying out to the world, even though they're breaking up inside, is perfect. Because there's a lot of people that live a whole fake life, right?
Correct. I believe, yeah.
And they're telling you that I'm so happy, and they really aren't. They're miserable.
Yes. Yes.
But yes, I think at least for me, we'll talk when I'm 50. Let's
Yes.
see where we get there.
But
I'm
but
hoping-
at this point, you want to have those conversations. Like,
Yeah.
what have you done up to now? If you got into divorce at the age of 40 and you're starting all over, that's understandable. We all go through it. We
Right.
all have to start from scratch at some point in our lives. But where's the ambition? Where's the goal? Where's the plan to come out of that hole that all of a sudden life threw at you? I think that's the important part. So you're not looking for someone that has it all together, because I think it's tough to have it
You're
all
not
together.
Gonna find that. You're not going to find that with anybody. At this point, at this stage, it's about a connection.
Yes.
It's about a partnership. It's about having things in common. It's about what is your path? What are you looking for as you get older? Where do you want to live? What are you looking for? Do you want to live in a big city? Do you want to live in a small town, raising horses and ponies? You want to have a garden? What
Are
do
we
you want
doing?
in life? What are we doing? And do we
Yes.
match together? And can we help
Yeah.
each other out when you're feeling like shit, that I can help you, and when I'm
Correct.
feeling like shit, and you can help,
Correct.
and you can help me.
So I love the internet. So there's all these memes that it's like, if you meet a woman between the ages of 30 and 50.
Oh, I saw that one that you posted.
Yeah, like,
33 and 50.
you
It was-
have to have it together. Like,
Yeah.
she's ready to travel, she's ready to invest,
Absolutely.
she's ready to have great sex, because this is supposed to be our peak. So that if that's important to you, then you need to make sure that you have
Right.
that chemistry,
Right.
because if not, what are you doing?
Right.
So there's a different level of standards at this age, because we've already lived through so much, and we want to make sure that none of that is taken away from us. And it's tough to meet somebody else that can actually bring that to the table. And I always say, I'm never going to ask for something that I can't provide. So I have a career. Luckily, I'm financially, I'm not rich, but I'm financially okay. I'm
Independent. You're financially independent.
independent. My bills are paid. I don't need you to pay my bills, but I don't want to have to pay yours either.
Right.
So make sure that that's what you're coming with too, because if not, what are we doing? I'm not looking for someone to struggle
I
with.
was talking to a girlfriend the other day, and she was telling me about a girlfriend of hers that I don't know if they're married. I think they're married. He has 5 kids.
I'll drink to that.
He doesn't work.
No.
She pays his child support.
No.
And apparently he looks like a thug, because if you tell me,
No.
does he look like Brad Pitt, and I'm
No.
Oprah Winfrey, and I'm just paying, and I'm rich like that, and he
No.
makes me happy, I could be like, you know what, you got all the money in the world, men do it all the time, why can't a woman do it?
No, I can't.
But I just think that that's what's happening, and we're getting into a whole different, conversation. But I'm just going to say this. I think that that's what's happening in this country right now, is that the fundamental values between a man and a woman have gone to shit.
Yes.
And that is the reason why everything is falling apart.
Yes.
We need to go back to old school values. As primitive as it sounds, It is the way that our biology works.
And I like to think of it as old school values with a modern twist.
Yes, we have
Because-
to get with the times. Absolutely.
Correct. Because I should not be expected to have dinner ready on the table, have the house sparkling clean.
If you're working all day.
Correct.
But if you're
Because-
not,
Yes.
if you're not,
At least provide that.
that is your job.
Yeah. At least
If
provide
he is
that.
taking care of you and he is taking care of the household,
Wow.
your job is to have the house clean.
Yeah. And
know,
some women are made for that and some women
And
aren't.
if he has that kind of money, you know what? Pay somebody to clean
Yes.
your house, but make sure that you're
Yes.
on top of it. Make sure that he has something to eat when he gets home.
Correct. So when
There's nothing wrong with that.
when I was married, we both had our careers. We both worked our 9 to 5s. And some of the housework got left behind. And it's like, I don't have the time, you don't have the time. So let's come together and find somebody to help us with that.
Yeah.
But you have to be on that same page and be okay with that.
Right.
There was one guy that I dated very briefly, and we went out, I think it was like 2 or 3 dates. And it was finally time for me to kind of invite him over. You know, which is tough for me as a single mom. Again, my kid still lives with me. He's an adult, but he lives with me. So I had to make arrangements to get the kid out of the house so we can have, you know, a night just on the couch watching TV or whatever it was. And I remember this guy said something, you know, in Spanish because it makes it sound better. And it's like, mi amorcito, pero tú no piensas cocinar. And I was like, excuse me? I was like, we're just getting to know each other. This is
Right.
like the honeymoon stage.
Right.
And you're already asking for like
Right.
wifey things
Right.
when we haven't even made it there yet.
Right.
And I was like, I ordered Uber Eats, boo. I got you a salad. What do you want me to do?
Right.
But you also have to find somebody that realizes that we're not in the 1950s anymore. We're not our mom and our dad. You know, like I just finished working at 6 o'clock.
And you don't want to come home to have to cook.
I
Absolutely
picked up the
not.
house. I made it as
Absolutely not.
nice. I lit up, you know, Bath and Body Works candle for you. And this is it. Like I cracked open a bottle of wine.
You got lucky. You
And,
got lucky.
and
This
I
is a
ordered
good day.
Uber Eats. Like, so yes, times have changed, but I do agree with that. Once you come into a relationship with somebody, you figure
You just have
out.
to ask, what are your expectations? What are you looking for?
Yes.
I think that we're in a stage right now where we just have to be very clear about what we want. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a man. Again, I want a partner, a husband. You know, I want to travel. I want you to
Correct.
be good to my child. I'll be good to your children as well.
And things
What are your
change.
expect-
Things
Where do you
change.
want to retire when you retire?
Yes, what are
Where
your
do you want to
benefits?
live?
my new
What are your ba-
conversation.
Do you have a pension?
How is your 401k
How
looking?
much do you have in the bank?
But that's where we're at in life, right? Like
Yeah.
we're already thinking, it's like, okay, we're in our 40s, retirement is around the corner. What are we looking at here? Are we living off of your 401k? Are we moving in with mom and dad and the efficiency? Those are all conversations that need to be
Absolutely.
had. This is the reality of life. But you just need to make sure that whatever stage you are in life, that you're going to respect that person's needs at that moment.
Yeah.
Because I don't need a father for my kid anymore. My kid's already grown.
He's a grown man.
But you might have
I have a
children
child.
that
I have a
are
13-year-old
younger.
daughter. I have
You-
a 13-year
you
and she's
still
a
need
girl.
that.
I know that they say no, that it's the same thing with a boy and a girl. I feel that girls are just a little needier, you know?
Yes. I mean, I think, and I had this conversation a lot. It's like, it's still the same responsibility. Like, my kid could have gotten someone pregnant. So if I'm a responsible parent, we're going to share that same responsibility because
Right.
the same way that you have to deal with your daughter that's pregnant, my kid caused that.
Right.
So I'm, as a parent that I am, I'm going to make him
You're
responsible
abuela.
for
You're
that.
also abuela.
Yeah. So we're going to
Yeah.
figure this out together.
Right.
But
Right.
it's different stages in life. You know, I don't need a father figure for my kid anymore. He's done. You might still need some kind of role model in that child's life, not to be as active as her father because she has a father, but you want to make sure that this person is a good example to her.
100%.
So it's a challenge, man. It's a lot of things, you know. It's crazy. It's crazy out there. It's a challenge. Again, I keep my hopes up and my expectations low. That's what I always tell people.
Okay, Jackie, so since you're so active on Tinder, right? I think Tinder's
All of
been
them.
the main one right now where you're kind of getting the funnest feedback because it's fun. It's funny as shit the things that you're posting on your
Yes.
on your social media.
Yeah.
And this is how we've reacquainted again, because I'm just like, where do you get? No, you're lying.
I'm
No,
not making
you're
this up.
lying.
I'm not
She's
making
like,
this
I'm
up.
not making this up.
So
Monica. I'm
I
not."
have a lot of friends that tell me that it's like, Jackie, you are a great person. You have a great personality. You have it together. You have a great career. You're not fugly. You know what I mean? Like, why is it so difficult? And I don't think people realize that the choices aren't great. And then I
It's almost fake what she's posting. It really is. When I read this, I literally ask her, "You're photoshopping this?
No.
You're no. This is not.
It's
this is
it's not. It's not. So Tinder is the last one that I've joined, but I have examples from all of them. I think Plenty of Fish is the most entertaining one, which I just stopped. Like I realized that putting energy into Plenty of Fish is just a waste of time. Like that, you get people asking you for feet pics. Like that's a real thing, you know.
Feet pics?
Yes. Like people are like, "Let me see your feet," and I'm like, "What?"
Why?
There's just fetishes. There's people who have fetishes. That's another thing. So there's like this whole other community of people that have fetishes.
Okay.
That's fine. I respect everybody.
Everybody likes her shit.
Correct.
Okay.
But I've literally had people say, "You have cute feet," and I was like, "There's no picture in my profile that just shows my feet." Like, where are you coming at? There's thruples. That's another thing. And then
What is that?
Thruples are couples that are looking for the third.
Oh, okay.
So that's-
Isn't that a threesome?
It's called a thruple though, but it's a threesome if it's a one night thing. But if they want a relationship with you, it's called a thruple now.
Oh,
So then-
you learn something new every day. Okay,
Yes.
throuple. I thought that
So-
was like a person walking in the circus on
no.
no.
A throuple is an actual thing, and it's couples that are looking for a third, and it's usually a woman. So I've had couples reach out to me, and that usually happens in Facebook dating for some reason, which is crazy.
Okay, so there's Tinder, Hinge,
Bumble.
Bumble. Okay, Bumble's a good one.
Bumble's
No?
a good one. Bumble's a good one. I think I met the only guy that I actually dated for a little bit on
I think
Bumble.
Bumble's a good one.
It is a
And
good
What about
one.
Hinge?
Hinge is good.
That's where I met my friend on Hinge. I felt that Hinge was a little more upscale.
It is. It's a little bit more challenging. so
professional.
you have to have patience. You have to have patience and find that match. So I did make a friend off of Hinge as well, but no romantic.
No romantic. I haven't had any romantic.
Yeah, no romantic. But yes, but Hinge is a little bit more serious. There's a lot of fake profiles, which you can obviously, if you have common
Which is
sense.
what's that called?
Bots and stuff.
Bait. What's that called? Where they're fishing.
Yes, like the Tinder swindler, like stuff like that.
That was a great documentary. I loved it.
But there's
I'm
men.
but I'm also like, can a female be that freaking stupid
Yes.
that you're giving
Yes.
because let me tell you, at the first chance that you
Yes.
asked me for $5, I'm like,
Yes.
you're out.
I'm out. So it's funny because I had.
He was asking for 10,000.
and
Open
they
a
sent
credit
it.
card.
But who has $10,000 to send to somebody like that too? Like
She
that's crazy.
didn't have it. She was opening
No.
up credit cards to do it.
So there's also Chispa, which is like the Hispanic dating app.
I haven't heard of that one.
That I think Match just bought them, but
Do
it
you
was.
want to be with a Hispanic? Is that what you're looking for?
I am very Hispanic, so I think that it's.
I'm a spick.
I'm very Hispanic, so I think it is important for that person to be Hispanic because if not, I might be obnoxious to somebody who doesn't understand our culture. That's
Okay.
another thing. Culturally, it's a big difference. You
Yeah.
know, like you have to meet somebody that's okay with your culture
Sure.
for whatever reason. So I tried Chifa, and it's literally created.
I haven't heard of that
It
one.
was created
Okay.
by Univision, and it was bought, I want to say, by Match, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
So one of my friend's mom becomes single, and she's, you know, an older lady in her 60s, and I was joking with her, and I was like, Mom, let's create a Chispa account for you. And I did it. Like, I helped her pick the pictures, and I created it for her. And a couple weeks later, she's like, hey, Jackie, I matched with this guy. He works off in the Gulf of Mexico in the oil rigs. And I was like, Mom, stop right now. And she's like, what? And I was like, that's a scam. And she's like, no, like, you know, we've chatted and everything, and we've talked. And I was like, listen, that's a scam. He's going to ask you for money.
So many de carajo.
He's gonna tell you that his check doesn't clear for 2 weeks and he has to pay for
Right.
something. She's like, no, don't worry about it. I was like, listen, it's a scam. Like, this has been publicized. It's a scam about the oil rigs in the Gulf of Mexico. Sure enough, not even 2
How do you
weeks
know
later,
this?
it's come up on social media, and it's something that, you know, that's
You're like
talked
really
about.
into this. You're really, you know, the ins and outs of scamming and baiting. And
I watch 90 Day Fiance. I've seen it all.
You're really into this.
I-
If any of you guys have any questions regarding anybody,
Scams.
what's it called? Fishing?
Fishing. Yeah, fishing.
Leave us a little comment.
And
You can contact Jackie.
I'll hook you up. But sure enough, like not even a week later, he asked. It was funny because he asked her for like a Google Play card, and I told her if it sounds weird, it's weird. If
Right.
it sounds too good to be true, it's too good to
Right.
be true. And sure enough, like there's people out there who are scamming. And then it's funny because then you'll see men's profiles say something like, oh, if you're a bot or if you're scamming, like swipe left. And it's like, the bot doesn't know that you're saying that. The bot's just looking for whoever takes the bait. So then that's a whole other challenge with dating. But if you have common sense and you know how to read through a profile, like if you're in Miami and every single picture is out of Miami, there's a problem. If they don't have a picture of Flanagan's or a picture of Isaias or a picture of Wynwood, they're not in Miami. Like that's, or I'm sorry, the biggest one is
You have like a PhD in this.
the fountain in front of the Hard Rock, like the center fountain with like almost every single man has a picture in front of that fountain, or the Brickell City Center like backdrop. It's hilarious. So if you don't have those two, you're not in Miami.
Okay.
But people,
those are two things to look out for. Pay
the
attention,
fountain,
take notes.
the fountain at Hard Rock, and the Brickell City Center like
Okay.
backdrop. But some people are actually falling for those scams too. So the Tinder swindler thing is real.
Do you think that it's because everybody's just lonely?
Yes.
Lonely? What's happening? What is your perspective on why everybody is just looking for that person? Why are we all so alone?
I don't want to say it's a self-esteem issue, but it might be a little bit. The loneliness gets you. I think the pandemic definitely affected a lot of people,
yeah.
and issues that we might have put away may have come up at that time. So
Totally.
you're just like, okay, Miami's not working. I mean, I have friends that have left Miami, moved to New York, and found the love of their life. It happens.
New York?
Yes, but then I have friends that are in New York, that live in New York, that are single and tell me I haven't found anything. I have a friend in LA that it took her years, and it's like, oh, everybody's an artist, everybody's an up-and-coming actor, and it's even worse because then you're like, I can't deal with this crap, So there's challenges everywhere you go, but then when you take yourself out of Miami, I don't know, I guess you're exposed to different cultures, and maybe you make a connection a different way with somebody else.
I've always said it, and we've worked in the same industry for a long time, so
Yes.
you really understand this.
Yes.
But Miami is such a unique, diverse dichotomy of a culture. It's just
I think major cities are like
but I think Miami, just because it's such a hub for like Latin America and right,
Yeah.
it's.
But New York is kind of the same way too. So you'll have a lot of.
I haven't been to New York enough times. I've been there a handful of times, and I'm there for 3 days, and it's like I can't handle the people.
It
It's just too
is
much.
fast paced.
It's too much.
It
for
is
me.
fast paced, and I don't think I can ever work in New York. Like I love to go on vacation. I love to
If I
go
was 20
sightseeing.
years old, I can do it. I don't know if I
Yeah,
can do it right now.
today I can't. But I kind of see it similar to Miami in that sense that you do have that melting pot of different cultures. There's a lot of Caribbean Hispanics there as well, which we identify with because
Right.
that's who we are. But it's still tough, you know. Like in my travels in work, I've had Bumble on and I've had dudes reach out and say like, let's
Because
meet
you
up
can
tonight.
get the location where you're at if you're at a right.
Correct.
It's
So
kind of-
depending on where you are,
Okay.
now you're on these people's scope, and if you're paying for premium, you know who likes you, which I do on and off because I'm trying.
so you pay for the premium.
I've tried them all at one point or the other to
and
see
you
which
still
one
haven't
works.
found anything.
No, dude, it's not by lack of effort on my part.
Do you think that maybe it's because you're trying too hard?
I've had friends that are like, why don't you take a break? And I do.
Yeah.
There's times that I'm like, all right, the month of July, I'm gonna get off of all of this. I'm gonna see what happens.
Yeah.
The mailman still hasn't knocked on the door, so
I'm gonna find out who that mailman is.
He's hot, man. He's hot. He really is
The
hot.
one here is pretty hot too. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, benefits, man. Those are great. Again, we go back to the benefit conversation. Those are great benefits. But I do again, I'll come on and off. I've been to a bar. Like my best friend will challenge me like, hey, we're waiting for the table. Go between the guy with the blue shirt and the white shirt. And I'll go to the bar and I'll be like, excuse me, can I get in here for a minute? And I'll have a conversation. And then he's 34 years old asking me for my Instagram. And I'm like, that's not it either. So.
Too young. So what's your okay? So, in your opinion, with everything that you're experiencing right now on these dating apps, what would be the cutoff, younger to older, at a 41-year-old?
I'm 41. So
what's your youngest?
I would barely even attempt younger, and I started to open that up to like maybe 38. I even feel, again, my son is 24, so then I always kind of imagine people,
Okay.
if you're 34, you were 10 when I was in the hospital trying to have
You
a
can't,
kid.
you can't think of it in those terms.
But I
'cause-
do.
No,
I do
because
because-
what about if that person is
I'm too much of a mom though. Like that's where I go at.
Right. I can't listen. I'm not into young guys. I'm
Exactly.
into older men.
That's
I
where
am
I'm
totally
at.
into older men. 100%.
And then the oldest I would probably go is, like my sister's 50 years old and we get along great and we can have the same type of conversations. But I think I would kind of feel judged, and that's on my part. Like, that's something that I would have to get over. But if I met
What?
somebody,
At
being with
50?
somebody older, like if I met somebody and the
you would feel
connection,
uncomfortable. You think?
not if the connection was there. Like, I think ideally I would kind of be like, oh my God, what are people gonna think? But if that connection is
Why? I
there,
don't think that's a big difference. I don't think that's a big.
It's
like 50 to
not.
41. You
and
think that's
and
a
I've
big age gap?
and I've met people who have dated even younger, 7 years younger than them, 7 years older than them, and it works out. So if I feel the chemistry is there,
Absolutely.
absolutely I'm going for it. If it's not, then I would kind of feel judged and I would allow that to affect me.
Right.
But again, I am looking for that connection. That's why
Connection.
I'm not in a rush. If it
So hard.
doesn't feel right and it doesn't flow, I don't want it.
Reading so much during the pandemic and just exploring yourself after a divorce. One of the main things that I really resonated to was everything that you're looking for in a person, which it takes time, right? Because you have to go through your
The ones you think you want.
insecurities and everything
No.
that happens to you when you get a divorce, because you're all messed up after you get a divorce. But it's basically, what is it that you're looking for in a person? Hardworking, good looking, goes to the gym, is good to their mother, good to their children, blah, 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 right? Everything that you're looking for and become that.
Yeah. But then you meet
And that's
that
how
person.
you attract that person.
But then you meet that person.
when you least expect it.
Correct.
In an elevator, that vibration just like elevates, and that elevator opens, and that guy just walks in and he's like, "Hi, how are you, Monica? Nice to meet you." And you meet him when you least expect it.
Yes. And that's what I hope for one day, right? Because then I'm like, okay, I want somebody who has their life together. I want somebody that's ready to pick up and go because that's the lifestyle that I have. I want somebody who's career driven, and I want somebody who's family oriented.
Right.
And then you meet that person, but the connection's not there. So you're like, he checks off all the boxes.
We're in Miami.
But it's not
I think
there.
it's Miami. You got to look in other places.
I maybe, but it's not.
Would you do a long distance relationship?
No.
Why?
Because I've found it hard
But you'll
enough.
do Tinder and wait till you see what she sent me on these profiles.
It's
But she'll
hard.
do this.
Broward was a challenge.
Why? Because of the drive?
Broward was a challenge. Broward alone was a challenge.
You have a car.
It's somebody that I was actually interested in. We met in person. The chemistry was there. The connection was there. But it was like, hey, you're too far. I'm tired. I got out of work late. I'm not going to make it happen. And I was like, okay, I'll go to you. And it's like, hey, I had a tough day.
A man, yeah.
I'm
you
not gonna
shouldn't
make
be
it
doing
happen.
That for a man. The man needs to come to you.
And that's it. And
Yeah,
I
that's a
even
turn off. The
tr-
man needs to make the initiative.
correct. But I even said, you know
You
what?
need to make the initiative, man.
But I even said I'm gonna go outside of what I would normally do, and I'm gonna go to you, and that didn't work either. So if Broward is a problem, which is only 30 minutes, 20 minutes away from us, imagine another city, imagine another
And that's
state.
what's happening because men are constantly complaining that women want to be men, and we're all in our masculine energy.
Mm-hmm.
You're forcing us to continue to emulate in our masculine energy,
Correct.
right? Because
Correct.
of bullshit like that.
So-
no, she lives in Kendall. She lives in the Keys. You get in your car and you drive to the Keys and you see her and you drive back home until you guys become happy and you can stay there for the weekend. And if
Correct.
it elevates and elevates and elevates, then eventually you move in together.
I'm enough of an independent woman to say, you know what? I acknowledge that you are also hardworking. I work from home.
But in the beginning, the guy has to do it.
I agree. So that's why you kind of come out of your standards to see if it fucking works, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, because you're seeing that it's not happening.
It still didn't work.
Yeah.
So then I don't think I can. I can't. If it didn't work down the street, if it didn't work in another county over, I can't imagine another city or state working either. It's difficult. It's difficult. But I think you both have to be on the same page. I've met friends that have met men outside of state, and
I
those
have
men.
one of my best friends. She met her husband in. He was living in Venice Beach in California.
Yeah.
You know, but she was constantly traveling.
Yeah.
She was a teacher. She had
Summers
a little
off,
more of that
yeah.
flexibility, you know,
Yeah.
and she was always, taking the red eye and
Yeah.
coming back.
I
and
work from home.
I thought it was
work
crazy
from
how
home.
she did it.
One
Right,
of
where
the
you could do it.
One of
Yeah.
the friends that I made, friends. It's probably the most consistent. Works sometimes out of Miami, And he'll call me and say, hey, I'm in Stewart Beach. And I was like, why didn't you tell me? I just need a laptop. I could have been right there with you. Oh, I didn't know. So it's like men aren't even thinking outside of the box and
I just
aren't
think
even
that men are
making.
as insecure, if not more than us.
Probably.
Women, I think. I
Probably.
really do. I really think that men are more afraid, and they have so many more insecurities that we do. But it's just society has brought them up, or in their parents, right? Hispanic parents. Just men are brought up. You have to be tough. You can't cry. You can't
Yeah.
show emotion.
Yeah.
And that's also a big problem that we're having.
Yeah.
And what if men would understand that if they would just put down that wall and show that vulnerability to a female that they really felt somewhat of a connection with, and everybody
Yep.
has intuition, and everybody knows when that person is good for them or not good for them.
Yep.
If you really feel that, and men, you put down that wall, we become suckers
Yes.
for you.
And I-
Because
and I
that is
always
the
say
most
that.
beautiful thing that we can find in a man is a man that just shows us their vulnerability.
Yes.
If you can do that to a female, that woman will do
Anything.
everything for you.
Yes. Yes.
But when you act like a hard ass, it's kind of cute from time to time, but every now and again, we're kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
no, this
And-
guy's
and-
too hard.
And you have to be aware, like, I'm not an easy person. And I will tell that. I told that to my ex-husband when we met. It's not going to be easy, but it'll be worth it.
Right.
So you want that challenge. You want that person that says, I see the positive in this person and I'm willing to work through those challenges because I see that I can build something solid here. And I think that a lot of people aren't willing to do that. Obviously, we don't want the baggage that comes with it that's going to bring us down or something that's going to take away from us. But I want a challenge. I don't want something that's so easy.
Right.
You know, I want to make sure that it's somebody that's willing to build with you and somebody that's willing to create that life with you. And I think that's all we need.
But
It's
I-
that compromise.
I do believe this from the bottom of my heart. I think that as much as that we're yearning for that, every person, male or female, is looking for that connection with another human being. I have this little saying that I say all the time, and it's in Spanish, el pajarito quiere otro pajarito. You put two birds
Yeah.
from two different, stores that you buy or you find them in the street,
Yeah.
and you put them together in the same cage. It's a horrible analogy, but it's the truth. And you put them together, they're going to be like this when you first put them together because they're scared. Within 3 hours, they're going to be
Yeah.
next to each other and they're going to be giving each
Yeah.
other kisses because everybody's looking for a life partner. I don't care who you are. If you're difficult, it's going to be harder, but everybody's looking
Yeah.
for that. Everybody's yearning for that in life.
So one of the messages that I received on one of the apps one time, and I think it was Plenty of Fish, which is the most comical one of all. Some guy who wrote to me and said, you know that men are no longer looking for long-term relationships. And I
What
was
are
like,
they looking for?
and I was like, and they picked this guy as a spokesperson? Like, this dude was not good looking. He was 50 years old. His profile didn't say anything about him. I didn't respond to that because if I would, I mean, we're just going to go on to this ongoing argument that wasn't going to go anywhere.
Right.
But I was like, I don't think that's true. I've met men that want that long, term relationship.
They all do.
We just didn't have that connection. So
They may not want it at the moment that you meet because they're going through some hardships as well.
Yeah.
But everybody eventually wants to die with their honey next to them.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says.
and,
That is
and
a fact.
I think the solution is communication. If you meet somebody and you straight from the bat tell them what they're interested in, what you want, what you're looking for, then you can figure out if that person is it. If not, you move on. There's nothing wrong with moving on. The problem is, and I've had this happen to me. One of the the screenshots that I had shared was this guy that sent me those shadow boxing videos that I was like, what are you doing? Like,
Oh, I read that
why-
one. Yeah, the guy.
Yes, like he was literally sitting in the hallway this is a 43-year-old man. I exchanged numbers.
Very athletic, That's
And
the
he's
way-
like, did the shadow boxing scare you? And I was like, no, but why did you think I wanted to see that? Like, I don't understand
what
the
would
point
possess
of
you to
this.
think?
So at that moment, I realized that maturity-wise, we weren't on the same page. And I was like, listen, I'm sorry. Like, I don't understand why you would send me that. I'm not feeling this. So he came back to me with an insult. So I could have sat there and said, like, you're a 43-year-old thug. Get over yourself. Get on with life. I didn't. I chose to just kind of ignore the conversation and move on. But I like to tell people, I don't see the connection. Thank you, but no thank you. Men don't do that. Men will either ghost you or they'll just let it
Men
kind of
ghost.
drop.
They ghost.
or-
That's their thing. They ghost because they're just afraid of
Rejection.
rejection.
But I rather be honest and tell you I'm not feeling this.
Right.
But then now I'm not that I'm afraid to tell you that I'm not feeling this, but I don't want to deal with that kind of response. I don't want
Right.
to deal with an insult just because we're not on the same page. Because before you shadow boxed, you were super interested, but now that I told you I don't understand why you would send that to me, I'm not interested.
Maybe he wanted to shadow box with you.
I don't-
Naked.
You know what? No. Like, no, there was just nothing that I didn't ask him what he was doing. I didn't ask him what he did to become athletically fit. I didn't ask him any of that. So it was kind of like out of left field. I realized that I didn't meet this person intellectually or
Right.
and I just decided to tell him I'm not feeling this, and he saw it as an insult. So the maturity is another, big part. So now I'm scared to give people my number, because nowadays you can reverse a phone number and find out a lot of information about people. So now I'm kind of scared to give someone my number, and I usually tell them, listen, I'd rather chat on here. Oh, so you're not ready to move on? No, I'm just, unfortunately, due to my experiences. So then you can create a Google phone number. Figure that out.
Oh.
You create a Google phone number. It all stays on the Google app. It doesn't reverse back to you.
That's great.
And when things like that happen, you just block them and they can never
Oh,
contact
I'm
you
gonna
again.
try. Okay, I'll try the dating app again if I can do a Google phone number. I'm not comfortable giving anybody my number unless it's for business or a buddy.
Google phone number. That's your solution.
Yes.
Because if not, then you kind of fear that this person can find you other ways or continue to stalk you or send you messages that you don't want. And
That's right.
Google phone number.
That's right.
That's
you
the
have
solution.
to be very careful.
Yes, that's a solution.
Ay, Dios mío.
It's not easy. That's for sure.
Okay, Jackie, so this has been very interesting. This has been so much fun. I don't think that anybody really understands the level of, should I say, disrespect that you're getting with these profiles.
Audacity.
Audacity that
I would say it's audacity.
that some of these guys are posting. I still say that it's because it's Miami. I'm not gonna get rid of that. But okay, it is what it is.
It's a major city issue. It's not just Miami.
I don't know. I think it's Miami. I think Miami's just really messed up. I really do. I think that men in Miami are. It's harder than any other city that you can be in. I really do believe that.
No.
I really do believe that from the bottom of my heart. you
Maybe
know?
because I managed a team outside of Miami, so I had people in the major cities in Chicago, Atlanta, New York,
Have you met them there?
LA. I've met these girls that exchange these stories with me as well. So all of these major cities are an issue
Okay. All right. So you have more communication about this
outside of Miami.
Okay.
Yes. No.
All right. So let's go to the first one. I'm gonna post everything up so that you guys can see this with your own eyes. So the guy says, "Un gusto. Bien, ¿y tú? Bien. Estás linda, mi amor. Gracias. A ver cuando hacemos algo. Bueno, mujer de poca. Gracias. What was it that meant again?
Mujer de pocas gracias, cuídate. Bye.
Cuídate, bye. Because you didn't answer to.
I didn't answer soon enough. So I found specifically with Cuban men, and I'm gonna call out Cuban
So
men.
you know exactly what I'm showing, right? Because I'm gonna
Yes.
put everything up on the screen.
Yes. So his issue was that I didn't answer soon enough. So I guess there's people.
So how long was the delay?
8 minutes. I mean, I work 9 to 6. That's just like
You didn't answer within a minute.
correct.
No.
So I cannot stand men that are like, what are you doing? If it's 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., I am working. There is no reason for you to ask me, what am I doing between 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. because I'm working. So he was upset that I didn't answer in a timely manner. So he started very nice and beautiful, and you're beautiful, you're this and that. But the minute I didn't answer, he was just like, bye.
He
was
cursed
ready.
you out.
He was ready to cut
He's
off.
cursing a bitch out real quick.
He was ready to cut off the conversation.
Yeah. You
So-
ain't the love of my life.
Correct. So it's this I don't know, this anxiousness of wanting a response right away or wanting to validate something right away that will even scare me off. Because if you're a career-driven person and you're working 9 to 6,
You're working, exactly.
you would realize.
Listen, you don't answer within a day. I can understand. Maybe even 8 hours. It takes
Correct.
2 seconds to reply. Listen, I'm busy. I'll get back to you.
If I don't answer you between 9 and 6, but I answer you, if you give me that opportunity after 6 o'clock when I'm done with work, I'm gonna answer you. I'm done. I'm ready to go on to the next thing of my day.
Oh, this one is just a post at this point. This one is just a post. This is a stripper. He's a stripper.
He's a stripper, or
This is a stripper.
or was his Halloween costume, which he decided to add
As a penguin.
Chippendale.
Chippendale penguin.
But
okay.
again, as a person who's looking for something serious, when you come across profiles like this that actually like you and you make it a point
Oh my
to show
God.
that you want something serious, I don't understand these. I mean, he's a great body, Jesus Christ, but that's not what I'm looking for. That's not.
So you're blocking the face. Was the face okay?
The face wasn't that bad. but you know,
Yeah,
for
what is this guy
privacy-
looking? But I noticed that a lot of guys do this. When the few times that I went on the app, this is what I saw a lot of the times. It was just I guess that guys, they're flexing their six pack,
which is great. I mean, that's great if that's what you're looking for that day. But that's not what I'm looking for. So something like that would not work on me. That we're gonna put that up.
Let's put this up. Let's put because this is interesting. Let's put.
So being in Miami,
I'm just trying to see what I'm thinking as I'm looking at this.
being in Miami, this is the hub for Cubans.
Whoa.
I love my people to death.
I love the chain, the Cuban link.
That's the hair. I mean, forget about the Cuban link. The hair.
I'm focusing. I can't. I haven't even gotten there yet. I'm still on the tank top. I'm still on the tank top.
So in Cuba, I'm supposing that the styles are different, fashion is different, but this particular hairstyle is something that I've seen quite often. They color it in different colors, they shape it, they bleach it, they dye it, and this is the look. And
I can't get over the chain.
I
I can't get over the chain. Like I'm still on the chain. Like who wears that, Mr. T? You know, what are you?
but you live in an efficiency in Hialeah.
Thug life, baby. Thug life. OMG.
If this is your cousin or your brother or something, I'm sorry, but we
Yeah.
tried to hide his face as much as possible.
Oh, did you put those glasses?
Yes.
Oh, you did that.
Yes, I try to respect people. I mean, it's my life, and I like to
You know,
laugh.
we're really doing this as an from an educational purpose,
Yes.
to really just let women know that they're not alone.
Correct.
You're not alone.
Correct.
You're not alone.
Correct.
Okay, next. Profile. Okay, so you had your
So,
hands,
okay.
your nails.
That was an Instagram post. This is somebody that found. So I have 2 pages, and this is something that I will tell women to do. Have a separate Instagram account. I like to ask men, do you have Instagram? Because I want to know more about them. You know, so I want to see
Okay,
what they're posting,
to
what is
see-
your interest,
right.
blah, blah,
Where you're
blah.
not getting too personal, maybe?
You know, exactly. So
With
I
your
have
family
I have 2
life.
accounts. I have my personal account that it's private and it's
And your
my
hoe
family
account.
and
And
all of
your
that.
hoe account.
And I have my thirsty account. As I like to call it, it's changed around the time. Before it used to be my travel account, and now it's just become my thirst trap account. So if I want to join a giveaway, I have to do it on the public account. So that's the account that I'll give men that I meet. So usually on my profile, I'll
Okay.
put, if you want to learn more about me, here's my IG. So I like to help out my nail lady. I love my nail lady. We all love our nail ladies. So I posted my manicure, gave her a shout out.
So you got it from there.
So this dude decided to leave that comment.
Love to see those nails wrapped around Fat George.
That is disgusting. This is a man that I have no interest in. I wanted
Fat
to make
George. The fact that he calls himself Fat George is troubling.
his, yeah, he has a name for it, and it's Fat George, apparently.
Oh, is that what he's talking about? I'm just
Yes.
thinking about his body.
No,
He's talking about that?
about that. Makes it even more gross.
Oh, and I wasn't even there. I
No,
wasn't
that's
even there.
that's where he took it. Because if you see, my hands is
Fat
kind of like,
Joe.
yeah.
No.
So you can't even give your
no.
nail lady a shout out without this
And you
man.
actually wrote back the vomit?
I had to because it was disgusting. It was just gross.
I thought that it was because he was a fat fuck.
No.
Okay.
He was talking about his member.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
For those who haven't figured it out, yes, I'm a man, and yes, I cross dress. Other than that, I'm not scared to hook up. Holla.
So I respect all people and all kinks and whatever you know does it for you. But I think this was the first time I came across a kink like that. So this is a man that likes to cross dress. I respect him, but it's definitely not my cup of tea. So this is one of the things that I've come across.
Yeah.
More power
Yeah.
to you, but no.
Sam, want to chill and hang out, mommy?
Yeah.
No.
So that's one of the things, that's Plenty of Fish, and that's something that I've actually come across on all apps, where somebody would straight up ask you right off the bat, let's hang out tonight, without exchange of words, without realizing.
Just like, let's hang out.
Just hang out. There's people who have invited me to their house without knowing who I am, without
Ted Bundy.
getting to.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
And I'm guessing that they do this because it works. But there's no way in hell that I'm going to go to somebody's house that I do not know. But people straight up will ask you, hey, you want to hang out tonight? Come meet me at home. And I'm like, no. There's no scenario in this world that I'm going to drive up to your house not knowing you, or just meeting up without even seeing if there's a connection there.
Oh my God.
That happens.
Okay, I'm not your average guy, so that crap you pull on men won't work on me, so don't try it. In 5 words, I would say I'm an honest, complicated guy. I can still put on my poker face. Poker face, though, so don't ever forget that. I know what I want. Are you brave enough for the challenge? If you think you are, then step up to the plate or table. Will you hit a home run or a strikeout? Wow, this guy's like really into poetry.
Not even poetry, like this just passive aggressiveness. Like, this guy's obviously a little bit younger, so this is why I like to stick to my age group, 40 or up.
In the end, it's all about the game and how you play it. How you play the hand you're dealt by this dealer is entirely up to you.
So that's a swipe left for me immediately. Like, that's just too much information, too much negativity.
I feel that this guy thinks that he's like in a movie
God's
and he's
gift
writing a
to women?
script. Yeah, this is weird.
That doesn't work on me. So no, but I found it.
And he's not your average guy. He's saying it from the beginning. I'm not your average man.
I just think you have this opportunity to catch somebody's attention.
Did you see his picture?
I don't remember at this point, but yes. But just forget about what he looks like. The fact that you took this time to say all that crap completely lost
Narcissist.
interest.
This is a complete narcissist right here.
Yeah. So that you lose interest. Like, why would you take that time to do that? I love this guy.
Pietro.
I really do.
His name is Pietro. He's 47 years old. A couple posts ago, people gave me crap when I called this dude out for saying he was 42. Well, now he goes by Pietro and he's 47.
So his original profile, he was 42 and his name was Pedro. So apparently he keeps changing his name. He keeps changing his age. Just, I guess, trying to
Do you
catch.
think he's a time traveler?
If he figured that out, shit. He has a whole.
Pietro, are you a time traveler?
Yeah, I can't deal with that.
I like you. Good evening. La gordita caliente.
The last thing you want to call a woman.
Oh my god, no he didn't!
The last thing you want to call a woman, regardless of our curves,
Oh my god!
is una gordita. So yeah, he didn't get a response from me.
La gordita caliente. Who are you, you moron?
That did not work.
Who says that? Oh my god, I'm cracking up.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was
from behind bars to the pole. A story of perseverance.
Listen, there's a lot of people who will put their mugshot out there.
Thug life, baby, thug life.
And
Snoop Doggy Dogg.
I appreciate you sharing that with me, and I know that I don't.
I don't want any surprises with you, baby. When I was locked up, you know.
No, this one takes the cake, but apparently there's Wi-Fi in
He's
jail
got a
now.
nice body.
He has a great body.
That's what people do when they're in jail. They work out.
Yeah, I mean, what are your options after jail? It's construction or stripping. So he went with stripping.
Oh my god, okay. Men open to either monogamy or non-monogamy. Single. Looking for people hookups. My self-summary. Get to know me. 6-gauge. Apadryava? What is that?
Listen, I googled that.
Apadryava.
It's a really big piercing, right on. I think it's called the Prince Charles in some.
Is it on the bolas or
No, it's on the head.
Ouch!
So
Ouch!
I see that, and I had to.
I'm just gonna Google that anatomy, that biology. Like,
Yeah,
I just want to learn more about that word right now.
Yeah, so
I've never seen that.
For some reason, he wanted to identify as somebody with a piercing on his penis.
He's very smart. He's very smart. 'Cause
Straight off.
I've never read that word before in my life.
Straight off the bat, he's letting you know what you're working with.
Next.
This is one of my favorites.
I wonder if these peeing men know they are part of someone's bath. Oh, I didn't even look at that, girl. I'm just reading the stuff on the top, and then there's a bunch of men peeing.
So
and he's like,
a lot of men.
I just need a selfie.
A lot of
I look so
men.
fine right now.
A lot of men don't realize that they're taking
But
selfies.
who does this? At least crop the picture. You can crop people. People, you can crop. You can crop. There's a edit on the top, and you just crop the peeing men on the right out of the picture.
No, they're taking pictures, not realizing that their
Oh my God.
background is peeing men. So this poor guy just submitted. There's 3 guys there. If I'm not mistaken.
1, 2, yep.
Yeah,
3 guys.
there's 3 dudes peeing in the middle of this dude's profile picture.
You're gorgeous.
Oh my God.
You did not become the grammar Nazi.
Listen, I usually wouldn't, right? I usually wouldn't. But honestly, like if this is your first message to somebody and there's all types of grammar mistakes on some of these profiles, like get a friend to look it over. Number 1, autocorrect. Autocorrect is your friend. At least he was a good sport about it. He could have sent me to hell.
Yeah, he did. Correct.
He could have sent me to hell.
Why don't you date him? He's super
No,
nice.
no, that's plenty of fish. No, we don't
I
respect.
like him. Give me his number. I want to go.
We don't respect
He's
plenty
super
of fish.
nice. Like he could have come at you.
He could have totally
He's
insulted
like,
me.
correct, sorry.
Yeah.
You're so beautiful.
There's so many of
You're, and then he writes it right now. Okay.
That's
This one needs explanation.
that's
No
the
explanation.
ghetto.
Okay.
That's the ghetto
I'm a
thoughts.
good person that can only make your life better. Whatever you want to have a good time, let me know. Whatever you want to have.
Listen, grammar police.
I'm trying to understand what that means. Okay. Okay.
I don't have anything to say about that. That's just this speaks for itself. How are you going to sit here trying to say I'm a good person and you have a gun pointed at me on your profile picture?
I haven't even gotten up there yet. I'm still at the whatever you
No.
want to have a good time. Let me know.
There's a gun pointed at you. I don't understand. Like, why would you put
Maybe
that?
it's not loaded, you know? Why do you have to be so negative, you know?
Why is that on your profile picture?
Why do you have to be so negative? Why are you so You're so judgmental.
I am. I'm the
you
problem.
know? Oh, yeah.
I'm the problem.
You're the problem.
I'm the problem.
Zay 43.
Yeah, no puedo.
All right, next.
Oh my God, that's a great story.
Hey, you. Did I scare you away or something? I'm assuming
Literally, it says dicks.
Dicks don't scare me. I just don't understand why you thought that I wanted to see yours, especially when you're out here saying that's not what you're looking for. Good luck on your search. So he sent you a dick pic?
So I have 2 cases where dick pics bothered me. This dude, we exchanged numbers. We had been kind of playing, dating app tag, I guess, because he's been on a couple of things. Finally gave him my number. And he was like, oh, I really want to talk to you about something. There's something that I've been itching to share with you. Like, all of these innuendos about him wanting to send me a dick pic. He sends me his dick pic, and it was the ugliest penis that I had ever seen in my life.
Describe the dick pic.
It was.
What did it look like?
It was like a pencil dick to the left. Like, it was
curved.
It was curved, but it was ugly.
Do you think that it was hurt?
I don't know, man. All I know is that was my penis. I wouldn't want to share that with somebody until the moment that we were about
love.
to get into it.
And it's like, baby, I ain't looking at your penis right now. I'm looking at your heart.
Again, we didn't have a conversation about sex. I didn't ask him to see what it looked like. He decided to send it to me, and it was ugly. And I was just like, oh, no. I don't want to deal with that.
Dick pics.
There was another situation.
No dick pics, guys.
No.
That's not a sexy thing. Women don't
Unless
like that.
unless you've already made that connection.
If you're in a
and-
relationship and you and your boo
Hey.
want to send each other pics
Yes.
like that, that's a different story. But you have to develop that connection before you send the
Yes.
pic.
There was
Don't do it
another
before.
there was another situation with a man that I spoke to. We connected. We actually talked on the phone until like 2 a.m. So remember when you were in high school and you talked on the phone till 2
that was
a.m.?
so much fun.
It's so great. Like I was like, oh my God, this is it. I met the one.
I love you.
This dude had a career. He had a house. He had children. Like we had a lot of things in common. Great conversation. We hang up the phone at 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, listen, I gotta go to bed. I gotta go to work tomorrow. He's like, I feel you. Me too. Blah, blah, blah. Hang up the phone. I get a notification. And I'm like, oh, it's probably a sweet message saying, oh, I had a great time chatting with you. Blah, blah, blah. Fucking dick. It's a dick. And I was like, did you just send me a dick pic? He's like, yeah, do you like it? So he sent me another one in a different
Angle.
So I'm like, why would you think that I wanted?
No.
It was a great conversation. Like this actually had
You
a lot
ruined
of potential.
everything.
It had a lot of potential, and it ended there because I was like, we didn't talk about sex. The conversation never went there. It was about family. It was about our interests. It had so much potential. And then he sent a dick pic. But this guy didn't even wait for the potential.
He was
didn't
just
even
like, baby, you want to marry me? You don't know me,
No.
but here you go.
It was-
Now you know me.
It was ugly. It was ugly. So that's it.
Now you know me.
So he's blocked.
Blocked.
He's blocked. Yeah, that was bad. That's a pet peeve of mine.
You like weed. Binge. Binging streaming services. Enjoy deep conversations and prefer spending weekends figuring out new ways of making each other orgasm.
And then there's a picture of him
Oh.
with his daughters. So,
No.
so listen.
Those are his babies. Those are his little girls.
Listen. Keep your children out of dating profiles. They have no business there. They're not looking for a mom or a dad. Keep your kids out of dating profiles. That is so dangerous. Like there are so many sick.
Like it was because you're being nice and you're blocking.
I'm
it right
blocking
now.
them. I'm blocking them. But those are two little girls in this man's dating profile. There's no need.
You like
can,
weed, binging streaming services, enjoy deep conversations, and prefer spending weekends figuring out new ways of making each other orgasm.
and then you put a picture of your
with
kid.
you and your two
And then you put
little
your kid
baby
there.
girls.
Like, I'm sorry. You can say that you're a parent. There's no need for you to put your kids on a social media platform. Especially with that kind of message.
No, Jackie. No.
That-
No.
No, your kids have
Don't
your
do this.
your kids have no business on your dating profile.
100%. Like who does that?
Especially with a message
You
like
shouldn't
that.
introduce your children to anybody unless it's really, 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 really serious to begin with.
And keep them off your profile. Especially on their messages of weed and orgasms.
And when you're talking about orgasm
and weed.
weed is from the earth.
But still,
I just came back from LA. Weed was everywhere. That was the joke that we had over there. We're like, it's our kids. We were with little girls, and it smells like weed.
that's the scent of LA.
It was yep, the scent of LA.
That's something else.
How
No.
about clean your room? Can I say that? Oh, that's you. Oh, I see the picture.
Yeah.
Okay, let me focus on the picture here. Putting the picture up so you guys can see it as well. Okay, so he's really into yellow. He's really into yellow.
but not cleaning his areas. So just look at your surroundings. You know, there's times that I'll post a picture and I have a friend that's like, dude, make your bed. And I was like, dude, it's just a bed. Everything else is clean. That's gross. That's not the first guy that does that. There's been a couple of situations where men will post pictures and the room is just a hot mess around them. That's gross.
Gross.
Just look at your surroundings.
Gross.
Also, like, crap. The dude's up here. The mess is down there. Why would you post that?
He was on weed. He was on
Maybe.
weed.
Maybe.
He was on weed.
Maybe. I even thought about doing like a service of helping men with their dating profiles.
Oh my God, I
Like
think we can
Hitch
establish
2.0.
Shh, let's not talk about it. They're gonna steal our idea.
Oh my god,
Merry
that guy.
Christmas. Merry Christmas. Hope you're having a beautiful Christmas, love. Con tremendo frío, pero bueno. It's not cold. You just want me to warm you up. Are you mad at me? Why does he think you're mad at him?
Because I didn't respond to that ridiculous message.
Oh, have no reason to be mad at you. Just busy with the family. How was your Christmas? It's okay. I didn't have you with me. This guy wanted to marry you, Jackie. Why wouldn't you reply to him?
Because it was
this guy's
too
in
much.
it to win it with you.
It was too much too soon. Like, that stuff doesn't work either.
Did he show you a ring?
No.
Did
At
he
no
take
moment.
a picture of the ring he was buying you?
No, that doesn't work. So when you, that looks desperate. Like, play it cool. If there's a mutual interest, it's gonna come out of that.
I agree.
But that
Yes.
whole, like,
That desperateness, right?
I didn't have you with me. I could have warned you.
I wasn't here to hold you
No.
and welcome in.
No.
Hey, I'm writing an article on the finer things in life, and I was hoping that I could interview you. Latre. His name is Latre. Go on, Latre.
So I have a friend, one of my
Oh, shit.
one of my guy friends that I met through the apps that we have a really good friendship with likes to use pickup lines, and his favorite line is, "Are you a bank? Because you have my interest." And he says it works on women, but just no.
Oh, my God.
No. I'm sorry, but no.
No wonder you're single. This is why I stay away from these apps. I'm doing it old school. I'm going to meet that man, the love of my life. I'm going to meet him at a grocery store.
I want the mailman, dude. I want the mailman.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to go to your house and get
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna start working.
I'm going to hook you up with that mailman.
I'm gonna start working from the front porch. I'm gonna do like one of these like pickup delivery orders and just wait on the front porch and ask them out.
I'm gonna hook you up. Okay, this is David Fapo. Wow, you're cute. Nice car.
So this is because he doesn't have a profile picture on his profile.
Oh, he had a car?
He just had a car.
I'm married, bro. My Tulsa's actually white, not red. Laugh out loud. Where in Miami are you? As much as I'm turned on by your use of the word bro, what's the point of continuing this conversation?
Again,
And can you have great replies to these guys?
communication is a key here.
You have great replies to these guys. Like, you're not beating around the bush.
El tipo used the word bro. How romantic
Bro, baby
is that?
girl, baby girl, bro. This is
Like, that's so Miami. I don't think any other city in this United States
Thank
of America.
you. You're finally starting to admit it as we're talking. It's coming to you.
Okay,
sometimes
but
you need
listen-
to- sometimes you need to talk about it. For
Talk
you to
through your
figure it
denial.
out.
But okay, I don't think there's another city in this world that uses the word bro like we do. Like, bro to me is a term of endearment. But
yeah,
if I don't know you, you should not be broing me yet. And this dude,
we're not bros. We're not bros yet.
let's forget the fact that he's married. Forget the fact that he's
We're
married.
not, forget about that. He's married and has kids.
He used the word bro.
And his Tulsa.
He used the word
white,
bro.
not red.
So, fun fact, and I don't want to get BS about this. One of the most interesting connections that I've made in the 5 years that I've been single has been with a married man.
Really?
I don't know what his face is like. I have no idea what he looks like for real. I don't know what his real name is. But he pops up in all of these apps, and I know it's him because for whatever reason we have this intellectual connection. I refuse to take it further than that because I believe in karma and I do not want to be with a married man. But I know it's him. And we have these great conversations.
And he knows it's you because you don't change your picture.
Correct, it's me. So he knows it's me. I know it's him just because of the way he comes at me.
Okay.
But I have no interest in being with a married man either.
Mm-hmm.
And it just baffles me that there's married men out there that are doing shit like this.
And that their wives don't
Pick up
find
on it?
Or because, okay, maybe the wife doesn't see it, but a buddy of the wife is gonna.
Well, this particular guy is using a red Tesla instead of his white Tesla, apparently. I don't even know what the hell the picture is. But there's a lot of married men out there who use dating apps to find somebody to be with. It's very common.
When I text a good night later, what phone number should I use? Praying this works because honestly, you're very beautiful and you have gorgeous eyes too. Ha ha.
That doesn't work. That doesn't work.
I thought it was nice.
No, it doesn't
Why is
work.
it? I think that could work on me.
It doesn't work.
That's kind of cute.
It doesn't
no?
work. Maybe he wasn't cute. I don't remember because we covered his face for respect, but yeah, no. Jeffrey, call me. Call her.
This dude either photoshopped
Dude.
his kid, his ex, or his belly from the picture.
So it was a little poll.
Oh, okay.
Remember, I do this for my friends for just to laugh
Yeah,
at my
she
situation.
has the funniest social media Instagram page.
Yeah, it's private. I'm not putting anybody on blast. But that was funny. So clearly,
She's very respectful about everything.
I am just for safety reasons. So you can clearly tell that he photoshopped something because there's a blur. So did
Yeah.
he Photoshop his belly? Did he Photoshop a kid? Did he Photoshop his ex? There's a lot of men that don't have, I guess, a lot of
I'm
solo.
trying to study the picture. I'm not understanding it. Okay, I
He-
see the blur.
He may have just blurred
You
his
guys see
belly.
the blur? I think he was just fat. Yeah, because he's thick. You can see
Yeah.
that, and he's got titties. He's
So
got
maybe
titties.
he's just trying to blur his belly.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny. But there's a lot of
Ay, está
men.
complejo, he's ashamed of his stomach and he's blurring it out. But there's apps that make it look a lot more
Yeah,
natural.
that doesn't look great. So there's a lot
Yeah.
of men that unfortunately don't have pictures alone. So they'll take pictures with their significant other and just crop the person out. But then you'll still see like a hand on the side, which is funny as hell because you still see that or you'll see hair like next to
Yeah.
their. So I don't know if this dude took somebody out or just his belly. But I thought that was
I'm
funny.
gonna go with the belly.
I
I'm
thought
gonna go
that-
with the belly.
I thought that was funny. That was the poll though.
Hola Carlos, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien, Jackie.
Jackie with a Y.
Muy bien, gracias. Cuéntame de ti, Jackie. Jackie. I let the first Jackie go, but a second. No, my name is not my damn profile, Jackie.
Listen,
Jackie.
attention to detail I think is very important for women. I think all women.
Jackie, ¿y qué te gustó de este hombre?
Only in Hialeah am I Yagi.
Jackie.
I just feel that attention to detail is important.
This guy's from Cuba, right off the raft.
But why is he? My name is on my profile. How do you misspell a name that's on the Ooh, that one. That one's.
I left enough for you to use for your imagination.
I have nothing to
How?
say. I have nothing to say
Where?
about this one. I have nothing to say about this one.
Where, bro? Where, bro?
There's just a erect penis during.
Oh, this is the penis one.
That's the penis one.
Oh,
So
okay. So if you guys look at the face where she's covering, the guy has an erect penis.
during
I
his.
left enough for your imagination. This took me a second. She had to point it out because she covered the penis really well.
Out
But
of
if you really look
respect.
closely at the hands with the
Face palm.
face palm emoji, there's still stuff sticking out. She's got a unicorn. She's got a unicorn sticking out. Oh yeah, the guy's gifted.
So this
He's
dude,
gifted.
but hello, but if this is your job,
Is that real?
I
that can't be real.
Listen, it's out there.
Do you have
It's-
his number?
I don't want it. This is his dating profile, and he's a personal trainer who took a photo shoot at his job with his medicine ball and his erect penis and put it on his profile. Why is that okay?
No.
Why does anybody think that's okay? That's not okay.
Let's talk after.
We'll find him for you. Oh my God, I love this
geez.
one.
Ladies, if you ever take pictures of your man at the motel like this, make sure there's no reflection of you anywhere else. It may be used on the dating profile in the future. Where's the girl? Okay, where's...
The girl's not there. So my perspective is who took the picture of him? It had to have been the girl that
Or
he
the
was
boyfriend.
with. Or the boyfriend. You know, it's perfectly
Somebody
fine.
took a... Or what about if he just stood up like... Why do you have to be so negative?
His phone is not in his hand.
But he could stand it
timer?
up and on a timer.
Okay, why are you sitting in a hot tub with bubbles setting up a timer for your picture
People-
on your
people-
profile?
People get desperate. He's desperate. Why do you have to take it to that point? Maybe it's just he's just,
I love your perspective, but listen,
I'm giving you a chance. I'm giving
Listen.
I'm giving you hope.
that's just ridiculous.
Good morning. I'm suckered for blondes. I'm a suckered for blondes. Sucker. I'm gonna say this with all due respect. I have high sex drive, and I like submitting to my woman. I'm super masculine, but I love submitting to women. I know it's weird, but I like being honest up front. All I said was good morning.
This was his.
All I said was good morning. You did.
This was his intro. This was
Oh my
his.
god, this is hilarious.
This was his intro.
Who does this?
Yes, this was his
Good
intro.
morning.
This was his intro. Like,
Oh my god, this is
I-
hilarious.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Someone come get their little cousin.
Oh my
This child is
God,
18.
yes.
Okay, what's going on here? I know I'm young, but I find mature women more attractive than the women my age.
This guy was 18 years old. Again, I am the mother of a 24-year-old. This kid actually...
Cougar? You can be a cougar?
No puedo. I can't. It's not in me. But this kid was literally like out there looking for cougars.
Oh my
You have to
God.
respect his hustle.
This
but
is hilarious.
This is Miami dating for you.
Man, this dude is checking in almost 3 years later
Love
to
that
see if
one.
I've changed my mind. Okay. Oye, mija, ¿qué pasó? You disappeared again. I just don't see the connection. Good luck on your search. Hey, how are you, mama? So what's
3 years later.
September the 4th, 2020. And then at 4:13 a.m., ese tenía una borrachera.
Yep. He was recycling contacts at that time.
He was just like, who can I hook up? Who can I hook up with?
Yeah.
You see why I'm not into these apps?
It's bad. It's really bad.
Rock out with your
Cock out.
cock out. No. Oh, that was, he really wrote that?
No, I did. But
Oh.
why would you take a photo shoot with your rooster, dude?
Because
like
of that. Because of cock.
rock out with your cock out. It's a thing.
Jesus Christ.
Miami.
It's over.
Hashtag.
Oh, we're going to be
hashtag-
single forever.
Hashtag
Jackie, you can
only
come
Miami.
over. You know, I'll cook.
I don't have any more wine.
Joan, I got a little. Okay.
That's my
There
feet
are no
one.
pictures showing my feet.
That's the feet one.
But for a feed, there can be.
So Feet Finder. I think I'm gonna open an account with Feet Finder.
What's that called?
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
I have too many tattoos. I can't do OnlyFans.
They'll spot your toes right away.
They'll everything right away. So I can't do OnlyFans.
Lenny
There's a
follows
shadow
that with multiple
boxer.
videos of him. Oh, this is a shadow boxer.
That is the shadow boxer.
You
Look
need
how
to send
many
me a
videos.
video so that I can.
I
post
can't
it.
play it because he has Android. That's another thing. Android and
Oh.
Apple just doesn't mix.
I can't make this up, Roy Caballero. So this guy explained that. So this,
This-
guy
this-
was.
this-
This is a shadow boxer.
The only reason I gave him my number was because I think it's been a long time that we had connected but never really spoke. So again, I lowered the standard and I'm like, let's see what happens here. I give him my number. We chat a little bit. I go back to work, and I stop working at 6 o'clock. I'm sorry. Yes, I do have like a 9 to 6 job. And when I look at my phone again, I have 5 videos of this dude shadowboxing. And I'm like, what? What? Why? That's like me sending him 5 videos of me on the treadmill. What is the purpose of that?
It's a masculine thing.
Shadowboxing in like the hallway of your Kendall apartment? No. No. No.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm just
No.
like right now, like I'm never, ever, ever going on a dating app again.
No.
No, qué rica tú estás, mami. Que Dios te bendiga y te guarde de un cabrón como yo. Que si te cojo te voy a dar como
Pandereta de iglesia.
De iglesia. Que
It's a
si
tambourine.
te cojo te voy a dar como pandereta de iglesia.
Yeah. He was direct with what he wanted.
Whoa.
But again, my profile says I'm not looking for a good time. I'm actually looking for something with some stuff. Every woman at this age, I don't care who you are. I don't care. Maybe you're not. I don't know. Maybe that's not your thing. We have a booty call. We have somebody that we can call to when we want to scratch that itch. Why do these men think that that approach works? Especially if your profile says
Looking
I'm
for something
looking
serious.
for something serious.
Yeah, el último. Oh my God. No.
So yeah, that didn't get very far.
Bueno, Jackie, all I can tell you is that
We're
I
all
know
on
you
the-
only sent me a very small portion
Yes.
of the messages, and you're trying to pick up the best, but there's so many, and you did share that with me earlier. Wow, wow. This
is dating in Miami
this is dating in Miami
after 40. Because here's the problem: these men are mostly 95% of these men are 40 years old or more. So you have the unsolicited dick pics that you didn't ask for, you don't want.
I've never gone over the dick pic thing.
I mean,
Like, that's
we're
just-
women.
Who does that? No
We're-
man should ever send a woman a dick pic unless I tell you send it to me. I'm open to it.
Correct.
Now I'm ready. I'm ready
Correct.
to receive it.
Correct.
Do not send it to me
We-
before that.
We are women. We know what we want. We know what they look like. I'm not going to tell you that I haven't had my situations where I found out that it was smaller than I wanted at the wrong time. But again, unless I ask you for it, there's no reason for you to
But I guess
send
that's
it
like
to
a thing
me.
that men have, right? Like, oh, it's
Why?
big. It's
Why?
big. I'm a macho
Whatever.
man.
That's not
Because they're so
necessary.
insecure, and that's why they have to do that. Because no man should be sending any female a dick pic ever,
Yes.
ever,
Then
unless you ask for it.
yes, then you have again the children on the profile. To me, it's a no. Like there's a lot of sick people in this world. Your kids
I'm gonna get on a Tinder, and I'm gonna put my daughter on it.
don't do that. Don't do that.
No.
No, don't do that. That's just, it's wrong. It's unnecessary. You can say you're a parent. You can say the age of your children.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody's not willing to have little kids in their life,
Right.
and they want you to make sure that you know that they have
Of course.
an 18-month-old.
Of course.
18-month-olds are a lot of work. So maybe you don't want to deal with that, and the person wants to tell you, put it.
Right.
Hey, I have children, ages ranging from 18 months to 5. Whatever, and you can figure out, do I still want to go to Nickelodeon Studios or do I not? But there's no reason for you to put a picture on there. Like, don't put pictures of your kids. That's just wrong.
So okay, so to finish part 1, because we're gonna do this again.
I feel like this,
We're gonna do this again because you have so many fun stories that we can share.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get on a dating app and we'll kind of
And
like
add some content,
Yeah,
dude.
add some
Yeah.
content. What is your advice to anybody that's listening that can resonate with? Should they stay on the app? Should they just wait to meet them at a Publix, at work? What's your advice? What's your advice for meeting anybody? Should they play at this online dating scene fanatism that's happening right now?
I would say if this is what you're looking for, put yourself out there. Be clear on your intentions and what you want. Stay safe because there's a lot of crazy people out there. So you want to make sure that
Right.
you're not meeting in dark alleys at 3 a.m.
Right.
There's no reason why you're
Or
meeting
go to
people.
anybody's house. Or
Yeah,
bring anybody to your house.
don't go to people's houses. There's no reason.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
There's no reason why you're meeting people after 12 a.m. Like, find a reasonable time to have dinner and drinks at a public place
Right.
with people. Share your location. I have too many people that have my location and they know where I'm at. at all times.
Good.
If I'm going to meet somebody for the first time, I let my best friend know, hey, I'm meeting somebody. Ojo, watch out for me. And just be honest about what you want, and don't
straight up,
rush.
right.
Don't rush. If it doesn't feel right, there's a reason for it. Like, trust your
Listen,
intuition.
Timing and patience is everything in life. It really is, and we just get so impatient with just the growth that we're supposed to experience in this lifespan. Because it gets lonely. It does.
And most
you're single,
importantly
it does.
is have fun.
Yeah.
If it didn't work out with
And
the
laugh
first
about it.
one,
That's what we were talking about earlier. If
Yeah.
you don't look at life through the telescope of laughter and jokes, go jump off a bridge because life is
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. but laugh
And you
about
have to really
it.
Look at it this way.
Laugh
Yeah.
about it. Find fun. Like it's funny because I have this thing where I ask people to meet me at the Doral Yard, Monday through Thursday, because they close at 10. So I'm like, hey,
that's a good idea.
let's meet at the Doral Yard at 8 p.m. You have 2 hours. If by 10 o'clock that person is not meeting your whatever, you didn't find
You're
that
out.
connection.
Yeah.
I had a great time. Thank you so much. 10 o'clock, you're out. So you're controlling.
Absolutely.
Find a way for you to control the situation so you can get out if you need to.
Yep.
If it goes well, guess what? There's bars across the street that open past 10 o'clock.
That's right.
Take a party there. But just control and make sure that you always have control around your surroundings. Plan it. Make sure that friends know that you're out. Keep your kids off of your profile. Don't send dick pics. And have a good time.
Those are the main things, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Jackie. So this has been so much fun. Thank you
Yes.
for talking to us today. Listen, I'm still learning as I go with this, and I tell you, I follow her all the time. I laugh, I crack up just watching her stories because the things that she posts.
It's
I
real
always,
life.
I always tell her that's not true. That's
It's
not
real
true.
life.
And it is true. And I told her, you need to come do a podcast with me because this is going to be so funny.
Yeah.
And thank you for joining us.
Thank you for
and
having me.
sharing your stories. We're going to do a part 2 with more stories. But if you liked and enjoyed the story with us, please click on the like button below and subscribe. And thank you for your support. Until next time.
Very cool. I had fun.